Alright, cut the music. We're gonna have a little bit of music. Give me 2 in the chat if you can hear me. And if you can hear the music, tell me if the audio level and my voice, if the music and my voice are balanced properly. I don't want to make it so that you can't hear me, but the music's blasting, or you can hear me but there's no music. We need music for a dramatic effect. Today, guys, I changed the thumbnail. Hold on a second, let me see if this shit is even up yet. Okay, 2 in the chat. Today, right now we got only 16 of us. That's good, because then we can have a real conversation. You're louder than the music? Okay, that's good. Tell me, guys, if we gotta turn something up or down, just let me know. I was gonna make the grill. I was gonna make just a grill for the Aston Martin. I already got it, but I was gonna make it again so I can show you guys, because it's real cool. It's a real interesting process. But then I said, fuck it. I'll just name this Aston Martin modeling, or Supercar, whatever. We're gonna just do some Supercar modeling in general. Guys, remember the side view mirror that we were doing in the last live stream? I can't express to you the spiritual pain that I've been through while modeling this thing. So I shit you not, okay? Here we have the screenshots that we were talking about last time, remember? I don't know how many of you guys were here in the last live stream. Tell me, type in 0 in the chat if you've been here in the previous live stream where we were talking about the reference images. We were doing this stuff over here and on the top and all that. Oh, evo ga, pozdrav u Ljubljanu. I suffered for 2 days and 2 nights. Thomas Collin is with us. Maybe Thomas Collin can help us. Thomas, tell me this isn't the most fucked up shape you've ever seen in your life. This fucking side view mirror. I've been suffering with this for 2 days and 2 nights. I haven't slept right. I've been dreaming. I had a dream that I stabbed somebody in the head with a pair of scissors. The whole 9 yards. I've really been through a lot of spiritual pain because of this object. Okay. So guys, I'm doing the full Aston Martin course on Patreon, as you know. There's a link in the description if you guys want to see the full Patreon course for car modeling. Well, it's not finished yet. It's still in progress. But if you want to see what I got so far, you can hold on. Let me turn this up a little. I'll just turn down my own. If you guys want to see the full process of how I make these things and how I did everything I got so far, then go check it out. You can also ask me a question. You can also get some personalized advice and stuff like that. And we have to listen. So as I said before, I don't know if I'm gonna make the grill or if I'm gonna do I'm gonna work on the side view mirror, because in the side view mirror, what happened so far, about 50 times I made it, I fucked up, I deleted it. I made it again, I fucked up, I deleted it. 50 times. It felt like a rat when you give him cocaine. My eyes started turning red. I felt like I felt like I smoked salvia, to be honest with you. You know when people turn into an inanimate object for 17 years? Popping my cherry for live stream, that's great. Yeah, guys, we just hit 56,000 on Instagram. A nice round number. Instagram seems to be loving the car content. That shit blew up. Guys, if you're not on Instagram and you're doing 3D modeling, if you're trying to do this professionally for real, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I don't know what you're doing, because Instagram is where it's at. Okay? Instagram is where all the opportunities come from. Let's put it that way. If you're looking to be a somebody in a field or a niche or an industry or whatever, if you want to get something done, you got to be on Instagram. You got to do it. And it's the coolest thing ever. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun because you can meet all sorts of people. People who you wouldn't believe. You wouldn't believe the kind of people that you will run into just for posting some fucking shorts. Or some little stories and shit like that. Just have something cool on your profile. It'll get you connected. It'll get you linked up with all sorts of people, and it's really cool. See, this is the problem. Look, I'm trying to fill in this thing at the top. Let's see if I can get another angle to show you. And guys, I still didn't figure out the screencast keys. Not that I've been working trying to figure it out. But let me know if there's any updates on that. I don't know if anybody figured it out yet. I sure haven't. Not that I've been trying, but We need to bring that back ASAP because for some reason nobody can understand what I'm doing unless I got screencast keys. Thomas, you gotta help me with this one because look, we have these two. I can't do without them. So I can connect one of these edge loops. I know it's crooked now, don't worry, we'll fix it, but we can connect one of them over to the other side. Why don't I just add an extra loop gut up there? Fuck it. I'm not trying to go for perfect sub D. What do we do now? Hold on. I'm not trying to do perfect sub D. I'm just trying to make it reasonably respectable, let's say. Okay, so look, this is what I'm trying to do. I want to add a loop gut here. So now I have so now I'll have two segments here, and I have two segments over there. I can connect those. I can bridge those together. Pozdrav stari rokanje. Pa di ste jebote ljudi, we have more Balkan people today than ever before, it seems. Maybe I should just change languages on this channel. Stop speaking in fucking English, start speaking in Croatian. Tell me where are you guys from today? Where is the crowd from? I want to know who I'm talking to. It's important. It makes a big difference. Because I need to know, you know, when somebody tells you where they're from, you can tell a lot about them just based off of that. What are we doing? You can tell a lot about people based on their nationality. Or you can assume, not assume, but presume a lot about people based on their nationality. Let's see, we got somebody from Wakanda. We got somebody from Egypt. So Wakanda, I think the richest fictional character ever is the guy from fucking Wakanda, the black dude, right? Mukeli, the environment art. That's good. Zimbabwe, are you fucking kidding me? Sudan. You guys are making shit up at this point. I don't believe that there's somebody sitting in Sudan right now watching my live stream, but maybe, I hope so. I hope so. You know, it's crazy. Everybody's talking about Ukraine, Palestine. Nobody gives a fuck about Sudan, though. Nobody's talking about that. Isn't that crazy? Now you're starting to see some videos because of the Google Maps thing and all that, but this whole time, nobody gave a fuck. Which shows you people only care when the news convinces them that it will be appropriate to care. You're a scumbag if you don't care. So the news tells you what you gotta care about. The news starts pumping Palestine. All of a sudden, everybody's posting all these stories or about Ukraine and all this. All of a sudden, everybody cares just because it's pumping in the news. It's been going on for a long time, guys. Now you start caring because the news told you? Fuck you. What about Sudan? Nobody gave a shit about Sudan this whole time. That's the hypocrisy of the world we live in. Here we go. Fuck it, not bad. Well, let's fix this. Yeah, guys, I just drank a coffee. I hit the gym today. You know what I noticed? Algeria. Oh, Jona Potkivanok. I'm going to Budapest in a couple of days, weeks. I'm in Dubai. I'm also making a sports car right now. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, man. That means you're fucked like me. All right. So finally, it seems that I figured out a combination which sort of kind of works. I think it still looks like shit. It looks like Minecraft alpha version. Did any of you guys play Minecraft alpha version or kad su mi igrali Minecraft, barem beta verzija jebote 2009. I think it was beta Minecraft version. Back when sand wasn't falling down. Those were the days. Those were the fucking days. We don't get that anymore. But nowadays, Minecraft looks pretty cool, but fuck that. Okay, so look, Thomas, help me. Let me change the song. What do you guys want to listen to? So let's do some house or whatever the fuck is it. Gregory Porter, Liquid Spirit, Claptone remix. It's a good song. I don't know if you guys can even hear it. I need you guys to hear the music with me because I need you guys to be on the same frequency as I am, so to speak. Let's turn it up a little bit. I hope it's not too loud. Oh, asta kurva. Mia Foss. Aryan and Thomas play Minecraft. No, you know what Aryan and Thomas would play? If we went to play video games, we would play something where we can shoot somebody, where we can... something violent. If I'm gonna play video games, it's gonna be violence. A lot of violence. Minecraft, as much as I love that game, and it's always gonna have a place in my heart, it's for little kids, man. Give me some violence. We can't kill people IRL. It's not allowed. It's against the fucking rules. You don't have the right to. Some people do, but not you. Somebody above you has the right to say which people are going to be murdered by the millions, but not you. You don't have that right. You're nobody. Oh, it's against the fucking rules. So, in video games, we can shoot people. I'm just kidding, guys. Don't walk around with the desire to shoot nobody. If you play video games to suppress your urge to shoot somebody, you got a fucking problem, pal. You got a big fucking problem on your hands. Me, I just dream about it. Every night I dream about... almost every night there's some violence. Thomas. I'm fucked. So look, I want to have this crease here. Maybe I don't need to have that crease then. Maybe I can just do like a... later I can do something like that. And this one, let's reduce the crease a little bit. Dobro večer, Balkan Jazz. Guys, we got so many fucking Balkan people tonight. What's going on? What were we talking about, guys? Murder. Yeah, guys, did anybody here ever shoot up heroin? Because if you did, I want to hear about it. I want to hear what your experience was like. I never done it. I never shot heroin up my arm. I want to hear the stories. Okay. So we got the back part of the... or the top part of the side view mirror. We got this arm thing. Look at this fucking object. Look at it from underneath. It is separated into this part, which we got. Okay, it's something like this little surface underneath. This little surface underneath. And then we have this other surface, which is again split into two more surfaces. And there's another two surfaces in the front where the mirror itself is attached. So we got some problems to solve. So how about this? We're gonna take some geometry from the front here. We're gonna extrude it forwards. We're gonna extrude it forwards a little bit. Hey guys, it's Christmas time. What are you guys gonna do on Christmas or New Year's? Don't tell me you guys are gonna sit at home and play video games on Christmas. I don't want to hear that. Not Christmas, Christmas or New Year's. That's embarrassing. I'd hang myself if that was me. You gotta do something. That's some miserable fucking days, guys. Did you ever spend the New Year's just by yourself? Lonely? Well, I don't think I have, actually. I don't think I've ever experienced that. One time, I was sick as a dog. I was sick as a fucking dog on New Year's. I was never that sick in my life. Maybe it was COVID or something like that. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that word here. You know, the Rona. I was sick as a fucking dog. Something happened to me. I got a fever or something. I don't know what it was. And I couldn't go anywhere. It was New Year's. The fireworks started taking off. It was a countdown and everything. I was in my bed. I wasn't alone though. I was with my girlfriend. I was with my girlfriend and she made me soup and everything. It was cute. It was a great time. I was just sweating in my bed. And then some kids, this was in Copenhagen. And then some kids blew up some fireworks and they launched them into my balcony. And then I heard some screaming outside and I thought the kid blew up his fucking arm. Doing 3D, can you afford decent living? And also, do you think you'll be able to create a family and still be financially okay? Yeah. Yeah, if you land the right job, yeah. I mean, if you think about it for a second, what are some industries that require 3D modeling skills? Just name some off the top of your head. Okay, movies, video games, commercials, reconnection successful. There we go. Fucking hell. Jebem ti oči. Guys, are we still here? Are we still in touch? I sure hope so, because OBS is giving me shit. It told me I disconnected, my internet died or something. Hrvatski Telekom, nemam pojma koja je mreža, boli me kurac. I ovako sve židovi, brate. Okay. Yeah, you can make a good living and you can feed some kids off of a good 3D modeling career. That's for sure. Question is, can you get the job? Question is, can you get any job? Okay guys, so somebody was from the UK. Is the UK person still here? I want to ask you a question. I want to do a little bit of a survey because I can't go to the UK. I don't think I can go to the UK. I don't know if you've ever tuned into one of my previous live streams, but if you have tuned into one of my previous live streams, then you understand what I'm about. And if you have been following the news about the UK, and this is what the news are telling me. I mean, I know the news lie a lot, but I am under the impression that it is a reality that people are getting busted for things they say on the internet. People go to jail. People get locked up. No joke. I'm not talking about the weekend in jail. 20 months in fucking prison for saying something about, you know, something that you're not supposed to say. Let's put it that way. So if I go to the UK, I'm afraid for my freedom. I'm afraid for my life. So, since I can't go there to investigate, I want to ask the UK person some questions. Oh no, Thomas, that's racist. UK is not being invaded by migrants. How dare you? What gave you that impression? I had this Polish fuck. He wanted a problem with me because I used the N-word. In Poland. He was some little fat fucker. In Poland, what the fuck? And he was white. Should have knocked him the fuck out. Then and there. Fucking Poland trying to tell me not to use a word that got nothing to do with you. In Croatia, you don't have to look over your shoulder. But in the UK... Yeah, okay, I don't know if this is right. We still need more geometry. Hold on a second. Let me see how many we got down. Look, we fucked this up completely. Right now, guys, I'm just trying to... You can think of it as a block out, let's say. What I'm doing right now for the thing underneath. And then I'm gonna fix up the geometry a little bit and make sure everything's connected. Look at this shit, guys. It's not gonna be this way, obviously. You should be afraid of getting stabbed in the back. In the UK, it's miserable. Stay away. I'm doing you a favor. I believe you. Thank you. They're mostly locking up environmental activists. Aha. Zbog mog streama ću ti... Yeah, my brother says you're gonna go to fucking jail for saying these things on on the internet. How dare you? How dare you? It's a joke. But people are getting locked up for this shit. Aryan's not a German. What the fuck are you talking about? Does Aryan look German to you? If Aryan looks like a German to you, then you got some pattern recognition skill issues. But Aryan was born in Germany though. But that don't make him a German. He is from another formerly fascist country. I'm not sure if conventional history would agree with that description, but I sure would. You know, guys, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you guys a question in the chat. Don't Google it. What is fascism? Tell me, what is fascism? Wait a second, hold on. I am the president says the UK is taking less migrants per capita than the rest of Europe. My mom is awaiting trial for peaceful protest. You gotta be fucking kidding me. But I'm not surprised because I've heard these stories before. I'm just amazed that there is somebody here who can tell me these things. It's really sad what's happening, guys. It's really sad what's happening, and there's people who deny it. There's people who don't believe it. They don't. They tell you that you're wrong. You're just. It's not true. Like, what the fuck? How can you deny it? Aryan, you'll never show your brother. Well, he doesn't want to come in the camera. Maybe I will sometime. She's 71, and they're locking her up for protesting. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I mean, if that doesn't show you that society is broken, I don't know what does. Okay, so now this has to match. And this has to match as well. We also fucked something up over here. We're not supposed to have this little thing sticking out here. Let's check our flows real quick. It's not bad. I don't know how I came up with this. I should have just extended this to make it flat. And then I'll attach a little plate to the front. Finally, I figured out the side view mirror more or less anyway. See, that gives me a triangle. Maybe we can get rid of him. Well, we could get an extra vertex up here, but we don't want it. Or we can keep this as is, and then we can line up this geometry with that. Guys, we got some Boris Brejcha playing. He's one of my favorite musical artists. Fascism is when somebody think he is the authority. Okay, but wait a minute. When somebody thinks he is the authority, or somebody is in absolute power. Because absolute power exists in a lot of different countries. For example, in North Korea, arguably in Russia and Belarus, Turkmenistan, a couple of other places. Where there's practically a dictatorship, right? In the sense that one person is in power. One person's got... Now, whether Putin has got absolute power, I don't know about all that. I'm not sure that's the case. I wouldn't make that argument. Because there's a lot of... absolute power is a very, very strong term. See, I want to have another vertex here. But that gives me an extra loop cut back here, which changes the shape of the object on this part, which means I gotta add an extra loop cut over here. Well, I don't. I can just have a quad, right? That's pretty good. Yeah. But fascism, and this is, to my understanding, this is quite a subject of debate, because some people say that fascism is an ideology, right? Produced by, I don't know if it's produced by, but it was brought into existence, employed by Mussolini. I think he was the first guy. And then it's debatable whether Nazi Germany was a fascist state. Some people say yes, some people say no. But if you Google it, it tells you it is a way of governing where there's absolute power in the state, or the state has an overwhelming amount of power. There's no such thing as fucking opposition and all that like we have. It's like we supposedly have in democracies. I'm looking for blueprints for any car, just Google it. Are triangles bad? I don't think triangles are bad. Look, let me show you something. I want to show you something. Let's say we have this plane. We're going to subdivide the little fucker. And we're going to make some triangles. So we're going to make 1, 2, 3. Let's do that. And then maybe we'll delete this surface. Okay, we got some triangles. Get another one. Now we got triangles. But if we apply one level of subdivision surface, okay, they don't all get cleaned up. We still get one, but that's because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles, and I'm convinced that if we add another one, we won't have a triangle. But let's test that. This is nerdy shit, guys. Hey, look, we still got a triangle. No, we don't have a triangle. This is a terrible quad. But what I'm trying to tell you is that subdivision surface will turn your triangles into quads, even though they won't be clean. As you can see here, this looks like shit. But you can fix this up quite easily. You can clean this up a little bit. And then if you go to, what's the name of the guy that does crazy 3D models? Vitaly Bulgarov. Vitaly Bulgarov makes crazy 3D models. He doesn't show his wireframes, but I'm pretty sure that I saw some triangles on his models when he was showing them on Instagram and a couple of places. Sometimes he shows the wireframes. Hey, shit, that turned out quite alright. So finally I can film the next Patreon episode, because this is the one I got really stuck with. The side view mirrors were really difficult shape for me to make, but now it's coming out quite nicely. So that's gonna be the next episode. So guys, hold on. We're gonna have to sharpen this. Maybe we're gonna add some bevels later on or something like that. We're gonna sharpen this a little bit. But guys, yeah, if you want to see more car modeling tutorials, if you want to ask me a question, if you need some help with what you're working on or something like that, that's on my Patreon page, so you guys can check that out. There's a link below. I'm also doing a discount. Oh, Mr. Hype Pill, good old friend of mine. How are you doing? You're still with us. Speaking of business, we have a little discount for the holidays, guys, on the courses in the description. So the Blender Masterclass and the Premium Product Animation course. I'll show you guys a little bit more about that later on. But we're doing some discounts, and you can also get them together, and you can get a further discount on the checkout. If you get one, then you get the other one. It gives you a 15% discount or something like that. But both are on 25% by default. Of course I remember. How could I not remember? Where are you stationed at, Hype Pill, these days? You know, I had a conversation with your opposition the other day, a business conversation with your ops. I'm not going to talk about that, but I just wanted to bring it up here, since it's so relevant now. do I understand where to crease and where to add loops to make the edges sharp? Yeah, but I meant specifically which part of Israel are you stationed in? If you don't mind sharing, of course. And also, are you not being sent to the lines? Are you not being sent to the battlefield? I met some Israeli chicks in Budapest. And can't remember what the conversation was about, but in short, they were dodging the draft. I don't know if there is a draft, but they were dodging the military service. The mandatory military service. I don't know what their scheme was. Kaj su ne radili tam? Zato su bili u Pešti. They were dodging the fucking draft by doing some studies or something like that. They didn't even care about the studies. They were just trying to dodge the draft. But I think since they were women, they would have just been like some sort of a administration or rear echelon or something. I think that's what, maybe not because they're women, but because them in particular were selected for these sort of roles. I told you a few years ago that I got out of jail. That I was in jail and got out for saying I was depressed. Ah, that's good. Haha, that's good. So, how's it coming along? How's the country coming along? Tell me this. Did you guys get rocked in April or no? You wouldn't tell me the truth, but did you guys get rocked or what? Did you guys get your shit rocked? That sure looked like it, but of course. You're gonna tell me hell no, but I don't know. That's just what I'm seeing on the internet. You know, I have this Talmud in the house. I have this Talmud at home. And then I googled all these things about you know how on that trip. You know how they tell you that Talmud says all these horrible things about Jesus and the Virgin Mary and all this. So I said, let me check this. I had a discussion with my mother. I said, let me check this. Pull out the fucking book. The good book. And I'll do the Googling. You'll flip the pages, I told her. And it tells me on chapter such and such, verse such and such, you will find it says Jesus is, I won't even say it. The Virgin Mary is, just think of the worst things you can think of. Okay? And this is a Croatian translated copy. It was translated by a man who was one of the biggest. He wasn't a rabbi or anything. He was just like a big Jewish, I want to say influencer. I don't know what we would call him, but some guy who was in charge of some Jewish community. I don't know. One of the biggest in Yugoslavia anyway. And he translated the Talmud into Croatian, into the Croatian language, or the Serbian language, I suppose. He was from Serbia, a Serbian Jew. And look, we fucked this up. We got some N-gons going on here. So we flipped the book to try and find this particular line. We try and find this particular line, like it says on Google, and you know what they did? It's just the line is not there. So this line was 106. We're looking 100, 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. They removed it. The fucker removed it. Can you imagine the dog? And then at that point I gave up because I was like, I want to see no more. It's gonna ruin my fucking evening. God forgive me. God give me peace. But that's the length that they go, Mr. Hype Pill. It's quite shocking, to be honest with you. And yeah, what you said about you're not religious, it doesn't mean anything to me. I understand. I understand. I understand full well that there are different kinds of Jews, just like you would find Christians who will tell you that, well, I don't know, I wouldn't consider that to be Christian, but you'll find Muslims who will tell you that people need to be violated in all sorts of ways. Some people will tell you that's the real Islam, some people will tell you that's not the real Islam, but I think Judaism is fundamentally different. And since you're here, and since you are in Israel, and since I am on live stream, I will shut my fucking mouth about that because it's not gonna end well. But I'm glad you're still alive. Are you talking to me? Why do I care? I was just curious. What am I gonna do? Come over there and shoot you in the head? I was curious because some places have different situations going on than others, to my understanding. So I was curious if you're in one of those places where there's some situations going on. To my understanding, the north of your country is going through a hard time. I'm in Stockholm in the New Year's. Great. I'll be in Warsaw for New Year's. They hit the second tower. They damn did. Hey, Hype Bill. Tell me about your prime minister. You like him? Is it my job? If it was my job, I wouldn't tell you. I wouldn't tell you. And if you think about it, you will come to understand why I wouldn't tell you. I think Hypepill would know why. Why I wouldn't tell you whether or not I do this professionally. So let me just say here, oh no, I just do this because I'm crazy. This is my hobby. I'm the kind of guy who likes sitting on the computer all day. My favorite book? Oof. You don't want to know. Shalom. I hear some hate. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, not towards you, but towards some people, unfortunately. And I repent for this every day because you're not supposed to harbor hate as a Christian. You're hurting yourself. But it's getting out of control, and I pray to God every day to relieve me of this, but I don't know. It's stronger than I am. When I see certain things, I have to react. I can't stay passive anymore, you know. How do you line your blueprints up? Listen, blueprints a lot of times are gonna be fucked up. So blueprint most of the time, or almost every time, your blueprint's gonna be fucked up if you look at it from different angles. It's not gonna be a match. So you can't really do it. There's no right way to do it. You just have to try until something kind of works. This vertex crease doesn't do nothing. What about you, Hype Pill? How are you doing? How's your business going? How do you do interiors so well? You look at the interiors are tough to do, so if you can do an interior properly, you are the king of 3D modeling. Because for interiors, the problem is the perspective. You're not going to get a blueprint for an interior, which is going to tell you the measurements, and good luck finding a fucking Ferrari super fast sitting inside him, taking out a measuring tape, measuring everything. taking pictures in orthographic project. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna find blueprints for this stuff. Maybe if you work with Ferrari itself, but for the most part, you're not gonna be able to do that. So you gotta eyeball it, and that is one of the toughest parts. Hold on, we gotta fix this up. So what you do is you get a bunch of reference images, and then you use the F-Spy tool. We can talk about it, guys, if you want. F-Spy tool. But when I finish the exterior for my Aston Martin, then I'm going to move into the interior as well. Even though the interior of the Aston Martin DBS Superleggera is a little bit shitty in my opinion. Just shift this outwards, hold on. We gotta shift everything outwards. Hold on a second, this is tough. Because we want to make this straight, but if we pull the geometry out, we gotta be careful how we do it. Maybe we don't, yeah, maybe we don't have to select these. And then we got this one. Let's see what else we have to remove. Let's remove the subdivision surface modifier. Then we're gonna be able to see it a little better. It's all right. You don't want to see this stuff. You don't want to see stuff going backwards. So we have this curve. It's going like this, right? It's moving in that direction, and then suddenly, I think it starts going back to where it came from. No, it's fine. So we join these two vertices with F, that creates a line, and depending on which side of that line this vertex is on, tells us whether the curve is currently like this, if it's going downwards or upwards. Oh, another Israeli. Fuck. I usually get a game asset and model over that, but that's cheating. You're not allowed to do that because that's cheating. Because what happens when you have to make an original design? And if you get hired, probably you are going to have to do some original design. Well, it depends on your job, of course. Depends on the job, of course, but if they hire you from the advertising department, then maybe you gotta create the one that already exists, which means probably you can just buy it. Why would you make it from scratch? We're trying to push this outwards so we can cut it. And then we're gonna get another end gone, but we'll fix that. Mark seam, cut this off. Here's our end gone. There we go. Oh, Mr. Big Trend from England. How does it feel to be in England? Do you feel comfortable walking around the streets? Or am I tripping? Have I been lied to? Tell me. I'm doing a little bit of traveling next month. And I was supposed to go to Amsterdam, but I skipped that. I'm going straight to a different city. And I'm kind of glad that I get to skip Amsterdam, because the idea of going to Amsterdam was unappealing to me. Let me change the song, hold on. I think we already heard this, but whatever. It's so shit. It's so shit, and why is it shit? Mr. Big Trend, tell me why is it shit? If it's not gonna get you arrested. I'm from Iran. Oh, guys. We got the whole fucking package. We got the whole... I'm in the visualization industry. Don't do a lot of modeling. What? I'm in the visualization industry. Don't do a lot of modeling except when the CADs have issues. Okay, so what do you do? Rendering? Killing Bachelot is from France. Oh, you're saying the people are miserable in England. That's why it's shit. And why are the people miserable? What do you mean by that? Does this have something to do with... Let's see. Boy 15 stabbed. Taylor Swift cries over stabbing at left. 3 fans dead. Okay, that was in Vienna. What the fuck? Dude jailed for tube stabbing. Teenager stabbed. That's the same guy. So that's all the same articles about the same guy. 22 dies after stabbing at Wembley. Every day. Man in 40 stabbed outside the rows of... So guys, is this fake news? What do you think? What do you think? Has that got something to do with it, or is it just me tripping? Top 3 countries you lived in. Poland, Hungary. I want to say Denmark, but not really. Denmark is cool, but it's not for me. So I will say my own country, Croatia, but I'm assuming that you're talking about foreign countries. I'll say Slovenia and Ljubljana. Slovenia is really nice. I had a great time living there. I did 4 years in Slovenia. Poland is the best country in Europe at the moment, without a doubt. You wanna know why? I don't have to tell you. But that's just my experience, that's just from my preference. Maybe there's something wrong with me, guys. You know what tells you a lot about a person? Which countries they choose when they answer that question. So it's a very good question that you asked. You can learn a whole lot about somebody based on the country they like to live in, or the country they like the most. See, look at this shit, guys. Let's look at the front for a second. Fuck. You can tell a lot about a person. For example, if somebody tells you that they don't like living in Hungary, that tells you that they're probably poor. They're probably poor and they're employed. Because people who are not poor and people who are self-employed, or whatever the case may be, they love Hungary. They love Budapest. But the others, they don't like it because Orban is corrupt. Orban is the enemy of Europe. What the fuck do you care? But what the fuck do I care about inflation in Hungary? Oh shit, Itza. Itza, where are you from? God damn. I love this shit, guys. There's always... Listen, the other day there was a big debate on Discord. In the Blender Prison Discord about Islam versus Christianity or something like that. Oh man. But you know what? you guys want to keep in mind that when you're having these conversations, you wouldn't say this shit in real life. You wouldn't say, you're like those two dogs barking at each other through a fence. As soon as the fence opens, you don't say a fucking word. So just think about that when you argue on the internet, when you say things like this. You wanna remember that you wouldn't say this shit in real life. Or if you would, then my hat is off to you. Okay, now we can't go off of a blueprint in this situation. We just have to eyeball this shit here. Yeah. But you know what, guys? Tell me, let me ask you a question. Opa, zapruđa pa. Ja da viknem kroz prozor, čuo bi me majku, vidimo u pičku. Neću ti reći di sam, da će doći neko sa cijepat, ali da viknem kroz prozor, čuo bi me. Da bacim, pazi sad ovo. Ne znam, Ico. Jesi OG. Čekaj, da ti pokažem nešto. Ne znam da li ti je ovo poznata stvar. Ajde, čekaj. Ne znam ti poznato Ico, ovo tu. Ovo samo OG znaju šta je. Da ja sad ovo tu jednu roknem kroz prozor, čuo bi ju, sigurno bi ju čuo. Okay. It's just one of the guys. It's quite close to me. So, listen, guys. Here's what I wanted to ask you. I need you to do the following in the chat. Tell me which we're gonna breed some hate speech today. We're gonna get me canceled. Tell me which country you come from, and in the same message, tell me which country or which nationality you dislike the most, and maybe add why, but you don't have to do that. I just want to see what kind of I just want to see what the social dynamics of this chat look like, what the politics of this environment are like. Because there's always politics, whether you like it or not. There's always some politics wherever you go. And you want to be well aware, guys. You got to read the fucking room. You want to be well aware who likes who and who doesn't like who. And you got to be well aware of the beefs between people, because otherwise you're gonna fuck yourself. You know what's the worst thing that can happen to you? If you're too socially unskilled to recognize that some people have certain issues with one another, and then you invite them to the same event, to your house party or to your, something. That's how you get a big problem. That's how you get a situation that you don't want to be part of. From France, hating Spain, the Netherlands, hating India, England, Russia. Why Russia? I'm Turkish, I don't like the majority of Turkish people. I try not to. I don't mean hate. I'm not talking about hate. Because hate is different. Hate is a very bad thing. Hate is something a lot more powerful than just somebody getting on your fucking nerves and somebody you can't stand. Somebody you don't want to be around. Somebody who you don't like. That's different. That's not hate. Yeah, we feel like we fucked this part up. Yeah, man. Could've. So we have to pull this part inwards a little bit, like this, to fix it. But then we're also gonna have to pull this part inwards a little bit, like this, right? Which means we're also gonna have to pull this part inwards a little bit, which might completely fuck up the model. So how about, let's duplicate this before we fuck something up. Let's do some surgery, guys. Turn these off. We're going to move this one into position first, into what we think is suitable. So, for example, this seems to be quite clean. Okay, and now we have these two vertices which were formerly, hold on. Well, they weren't even aligned formerly, so we just have to put them in the same ballpark. Look. Hey. Control-Shift-Z doesn't work. Fucked up too. We just have to put them in the same ballpark, but we can use our active element for that. Guys, I got a menu. Finally, I got a shortcut. Control-Tab for me now is this transfer and pivot point menu, because I found myself using this all the time. You guys know I do a lot of 3D cursor. So I switch between media and 3D cursor. I don't want to go up here every 5 seconds and do this and open up this menu. It takes 2 seconds of my life every time. But if I do this, boom, I can just fucking control tab, open that shit up, switch to whatever I want. It's great. Hey, listen, stop spamming. As nice as your message is, I'm gonna cuss you the fuck out if you're spamming. And I'm gonna mute your ass. Because I don't want to hear that shit. If you send me 3 messages in a row, you got a fucking problem. See, I would love to answer you now, but now I'm gonna first of all, we're gonna put your ass in timeout for the rest of 24 hours. How about that? That's the maximum I can do. I would have loved to answer your question, but since you don't know how to behave yourself, somebody didn't teach you properly, and I gotta teach you, I guess. That shit fell on my lap, which is cumbersome to me. It's fucking annoying. So why the fuck would I want to answer your question at that point? Okay. It's getting a little bit better. Still needs some work. Guys, I need a drink to celebrate this shit. You guys have no idea how much I've suffered with this subject. I've been questioning my sanity. You know what it is? It's like sometimes you go through an existential crisis. Whether it's because of a hard phase in your life, whether it's because of a breakup, or because of your girl cheated on you, or it's drugs, or you're you're a loser, you're just a miserable fuck. You question everything. You start thinking that everything you're doing you start questioning what you're doing. Normally, a healthy person feels confident in their daily activities. You feel good about yourself. You feel like you're going the right way. Nothing can get in your fucking way. That's good. That's how it should be. This shit made me question everything. I damn near hung myself. Are you Aryan because you're white and based? No, I'm white. My name is Aryan. Wait until you find out what my last name means. I'm gonna leave that to you to do the research. That's all I'm gonna give you. But if you do a little bit of digging, you're gonna find a little Easter egg in my last name. Which Ferrari are you making? Stop spamming your flaccid Willy. Your product visualization tutorials got me through college. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, listen, did you learn more from university or college or whatever? Or from Aryan's tutorial, to be honest? Because I'm asking you this and I'm not trying to get validation for myself. The reason I'm asking you is because I've seen people graduate university or you know, a higher level of education, and their modeling skills are shit. Their 3D skills are terrible. I'm thinking, what a joke. Because you would think that, okay, university is the best place to learn. That is where the most skilled people are at. But clearly that is not the case. So what I came to the conclusion that university education is fraudulent. And I don't. It's quite a rabbit hole to me, because you spend 4 years of your life and you would expect to. 4 years is a long time, guys. In 4 years, you can become a master of anything. You can become a master of anything if you put your mind to it. If you apply yourself properly, you can become a fucking master of anything. You're telling me 4 years? In 4 years, you can become a master of anything if you do it by yourself. If you apply yourself. Let alone you have professors, not just mentors, professors, and a whole community built around people like you who are on the same path. That should be literally the perfect learning environment. And still, most people come out of there with shit skills. So what the fuck? Why the fuck did they even go there in the first place? I think a good part of it is that some people also think that if they go to university, they will just automatically get good at something. They will gain a skill, which is of course not the case. You still gotta apply yourself. My argument is that if you're able to apply yourself, you don't have to go to university. What for? Look at this, guys. I want to show you something. Look. Look. What do you need university for? I'm serious. What is it that you can learn in university which Google cannot tell you? Or that Google cannot help you find or learn? Is there one fucking thing? I'm convinced that I can learn how to fly an airplane, perform a liver transplant. How can you not? All it takes is somebody showing you how this shit works, how to do it properly. You can get mentoring, you get coaching, you can get everything, you get practical fucking experience. Everything through the internet by your own initiative. What the fuck do you need university for? Tell me. Oh, okay, you need a piece of paper in some fields, right. But what does that piece of paper really mean? I don't think it means anything. I had this realization at some point when I was in university, when I was in school. What the hell's going on here? I need some more pictures of the car from Google. I came to the realization that, wait a minute, this is not gonna get me to where I want to be at all. Yeah, you have a good night too. I figured that this shit is not gonna get me to where I want to be at all, so I'm gonna have to go my own way and do my own thing, because this uni shit is not gonna get me far. And the people that I know that went to uni with me, who were nerds and everything like that, I don't know anybody that got employed and that ended up in where that they thought they would be as a result of university, the conventional way, where you go to uni and you get a job as a whatever your title says, and now you're making whatever €5,000 per month. I don't think anybody got that as a result of the university. So I think we've all been scammed, but nobody would admit it. I admit it. But I didn't really expect much either. Okay, this is fine. Do bevel here now. How long we've been on, guys? 1 hour. Okay, we can do a little more. University is great for being broke. Yeah. Yeah. Give me a second, guys. Yeah. Guys, I gotta figure out this. Streaming on YouTube is not the greatest experience. However, it seems that I can get away with quite a lot. But streaming on YouTube, you cannot grow. There's no way. At least that's my experience. So is there a platform where you can stream 3D modeling and you can grow an audience there? This is where we go. Watch what happens when the people catch wind, when the water hit the banks of that hard, dry land. Liquid spirit. Liquid spirit. Okay, let's do the inner part of the mirror. Liquid spirit. And I think we have to lift this up a little bit. Just this little corner. Hairline. Hold on. Here's my hair over here on the side to cover up my big fucking forehead. That way it looks like my hairline is a little bit lower, so I'm prettier. Okay, now this is supposed to be straight. So it's something like this. We take this edge loop and we separate it. And well, look at the geometry. We're gonna have to fill this thing. But let's do an end gone for now. Just a little inset. Just a little inset and then inflate. Loop tools flatten. Best fit. And now we're gonna place a mean crease up here, so that way if I apply the subdivision surface modifier here by default with no mean crease, there's a good chance it's gonna crash my blender, because when you have n-gons and you apply the modifier, the sub D modifier, it's going to it might crash your computer because it's hard for them to process that. But if we add a crease, mean crease, then we add the subdivision surface modifier, it doesn't go crazy, and it's fine. It's the same bevel here. It doesn't work. No, not bevel. Wait, crease. Look at this now. So here the mean crease is 47. Over here it's 47. And the geometry is exactly aligned. And yet the shape is not the same. Why is that, guys? How the fuck? whatever. Alright, side view mirror done. Now I have to do that again for the next Patreon episode. So guys, if you want to see more car modeling from me, you can find a bunch of my tutorials. Let me show you my tutorials on Patreon. How many do we got out? We got 15 right now. We got 15 of them. Hold on a second, let me just pull them up on the side. So we got 15 episodes on Patreon. The last one we did the roofs. Before that we were doing the back, we were doing the grill, we were doing the fucking, there's another one about the grill, all the surfaces in the back here. There's a bunch of, I've tried to explain everything as much as I can in detail. So 8, 9, 10, 15, where's the previous ones, the older ones? There they are, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the references and everything. So it's all there, and then there's gonna be a bunch more because, well, there's a lot more work to do on this car. I want to do the interior as well. So go check them out, guys. Tell me what you think. If you want to ask me a question, you can do it there. Can Blender give me 1,000 USD monthly? Yeah, easily. Hold on, I don't like this song. Easily. And how you get a job? And how do you get a job? You have to be good, and you have to expose yourself. You have to know people. You have to find a way to be recognized. Petar Vladić, dobra večer. Šta ima, eto ga. Jebem se sa ovim Astonom. Jebu me ovi u chatu. Ali dobro, šta je s tobom? So, how do you get a job? And by the way, guys, if anybody needs some consultations, I brought back Calendly. Last time I was telling you guys about this, but my thing was fucked up. So if anybody wants a consultation, if you guys need some personalized help, in the description you can book a call with me. There's a link. Alright, so if you need advice for anything, 3D modeling, portfolio, how to grow your Instagram page, how to find work, how to find some clients, how to do the freelancing thing, personal advice, whatever I can help you with, I'll help you. Okay. My first goal is 500, and how do you plan to do that, Mr. Sokrat? If you don't mind telling us your strategy, because let me tell you this, guys. If you're in doubt, and I always tell you people this stuff, and I don't know why so few people take my advice, but this is the number one piece of advice that I can give you. You put your works on social media, and you make little videos to attract attention. Okay, think of something original. Don't just do the same shit that everybody else is doing. You post a couple of perfumes, a couple of creams, and that's it. That's not gonna get you anywhere. Okay, you have to make a little portfolio which has certain things on it, and those things are going to be what some company is gonna see, and they're gonna reach out to you based off of that. Also on YouTube. Okay, if you post a video on YouTube where you show yourself doing something, some company who needs that service is going to look it up. I'm telling you this from experience. They're going to look it up, and they're going to want to hire you for this stuff. Alright? They see your posts on Instagram. They see your reels coming up. Maybe they're looking for somebody. Maybe a big studio is looking for somebody who can help them with a particular in a particular branch that they have. For example, a big architecture company, they need a 3D modeling specialist. Okay, they need a dude who could use Blender and who does Blender for visualizing boats, or visualizing houses, or visualizing cars, or visualizing fucking computers, or phones, or electronic, or whatever the case may be. They're gonna find somebody who does this, and you might be the guy. They might reach out to you because there's not a lot. You have to find something where there's not a lot of people who do it. Because if there's 500 other people, if they type in Blender product visualization, there's 6 million people doing this shit, guys. But I won't tell you what they are because I'm trying to keep them to myself, and this shit is it's golden information. But there are things which a lot of people don't do. Few people do them, and they're very valued skills. Car modeling is one of them. I won't tell you about the others. You guys gotta figure that shit out yourself. I'm not gonna take you by the hand like a kid and walk you across the road. You gotta figure that shit out yourself through experience, through grinding. But there are things which which are not so, where there's less competition. That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta put out there. And when you put that out there, someone's gonna reach out to you. Someone's gonna find you. So you're gonna get some opportunities, which otherwise, how are you gonna get in contact with some studio? What are you gonna send them your CV on LinkedIn? Like 67 million other people every single day, non-stop. Well, you can do that too, but you better hope that you meet somebody from there. What they told you guys is that you're gonna go to uni and get a job. They left out a big part of the story. The big part of the story is how the fuck are you gonna get a job? How? When I was growing up, I shit you not, guys. Tell me if you agree with me. Maybe I'm just dumber than the rest of you. But when I was growing up, I was under the impression that you go to university, and somehow you just naturally fall into a job, into a workplace. You don't have to try very hard. It just sort of happens. It's like you're entitled to a job when you graduate university. When you have a diploma, it's just like the system just leads you straight into the fucking job, like a chicken on a conveyor belt. This is what I really believed when I was a kid. And then I realized, wait a second, they fucking lied to me, because that's not the case. What they do is they tell you that, I think it's designed to make you think this way. And now you got a piece of paper in your hand, you're standing out there in the rain like a fucking kitty. You don't know what to do. That's what happens to most people in my experience, looking at it. And I know a whole lot of people from a whole lot of different countries, a whole lot of different educational backgrounds. You know, maybe in some situations you just kind of fall into a position, you fall into a good career, but for the most part, it doesn't work that way. You gotta put in some work if you want to get a good job. You gotta break your fucking back. It's harder than getting a diploma sometimes. So, what I wouldn't advise you to do is just go to LinkedIn and send out diplomas. That can work. It can work. But I encourage you guys to do something different, and that is to get your ass online, put your works out there. This is specifically if you're an artist of some sort, if you're a 3D artist or something like that. Put your works out there. It might take some time. Do everything. Do a little bit of everything. Put your works out there on the internet. Someone's gonna find you if you're doing it properly, unless your works are shit, of course. But you put your stuff out there. People are gonna discover you. You want to meet people of all sorts. You want to reach out to people. Imagine this: Aryan3D with 56,000 followers on Instagram. That's cool as fuck. When I send a message to somebody, they notice. They notice. If I send a message to Ronaldo, he's not gonna notice. But if I send a message to some architecture company in Slovenia and they got 15,000 followers or 20,000, they're gonna notice. They're gonna reply. They're not gonna reply to you if you got a picture of a fucking cat with a Soviet Red Army soldier fucking hat on, and you got 0 followers. They're not gonna reply to you. They're like, what the fuck is this guy? We don't want to talk to him. But when they see Aryan3D 56k, they're gonna reply. And what I'm telling you is you can do the same thing, and you should do the same thing. Just post some fucking reels. It's not rocket science. Post some reels, show your works, make a nice portfolio on Instagram. You can reach out to people more easily, better than being a shit muncher on LinkedIn. You know what it's like when you're on LinkedIn, somebody posts a job. Everybody's desperate for a job on LinkedIn. It's like when you go out to the central square and you know when you see the grandma putting out the breadcrumbs, all the pigeons are swarming it. 50 pigeons show up. There's enough for 5 pigeons there, but there's 150 of them. You're not gonna get nothing. Every other one of them, it doesn't have a leg, doesn't have an eye. They're all fucked up. Shit munchers. You don't want to be a shit muncher. You want to put yourself in a position of, you know, you want to be the hawk, not the fucking pigeon. Fuck pigeons. Yeah, I think physically talking, this is what Mr. Metetaha 2013 says. I think physically talking to a recruiter instead of LinkedIn or online is way easier. I don't know if it's way easier, but it's way better. It's way more effective. It's harder. You gotta put on a suit, or you gotta be able to dress nice. You gotta be a reasonably extroverted person, which takes work, right? Because some people will say, oh, that's not for me, I'm an introvert. Well, good luck being an introvert in life. Because you gotta go out there, you gotta shake some hands, you gotta charm some people into wanting to have a conversation with you. You gotta have the balls to talk to people. You gotta be, you know what I mean? You gotta have some skills at talking to people. It's rough. It's scary to do this stuff. It's an art. A good uni will help you get connections, especially if you're extremely passionate to do well. Good unis, yeah, that's true. That is true, and I agree with that. But you have to put in the work yourself. And most people don't. They don't think about it this way. They somehow just kind of feel like they're entitled to it, and they're just people are gonna be knocking on their fucking door and giving them jobs. This is what I've observed with my 2 eyes. Maybe some of you have observed something different, but it's true that universities will throw opportunities your way. They'll bring in companies. This is what they did at my university. They're bringing companies to do presentations and shit, and there's a guy, I don't know, the regional representative of some big ass corporation. They'll come and they'll give a presentation. They'll talk to you about the industry. They'll answer questions. You can send them an email. You can talk to them. You can connect with them on LinkedIn. You can talk to them. You can meet them if you make an effort. But most people don't do that because most people are fucking shy. Oh, I don't know. I don't have a question. They'll just sit there and fucking watch. What do you think he's here for? You're supposed to talk to the fucker, right? So if you pull up in sweatpants and you've been smoking weed all night and you look like shit, you can't even shake hands properly. You don't have a CV ready. If you're smart, you're gonna put in the legwork. You're gonna make your CV. Fresh and Fit podcast told me a long time ago, this shit works. I'm telling you, it works. You have your CV, and you want to print that shit out in hard paper, not this flimsy shit. You want hard paper, like. I got this from YouTube. I got this from YouTube. Yeah, big YouTube congratulates me for 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, whatever the fuck. You remember your first subscriber? I never read this. It's a fraud, man. Do you remember your first subscriber, your 100th, your 1,000? No, I don't give a fuck. 100,000. Wow, great. But you print it out on the hard paper. You got a couple of copies, and you carry that in the folder with you. And of course, you want to dress nice. You don't want to dress like me. Look at me. I look like a fucking idiot now. You're not going to show up like this to some LinkedIn event or some sort of business meetup or something. You don't fucking embarrass you. Put on a nice button shirt. I should start dressing pretty for these live streams. I should start getting dolled up for these. I'm acting like a fucking animal. I should start wearing button shirts and putting on the shoes and everything, and ties and everything. But you want to show up properly. Guys, listen. I gotta have a live stream, a whole separate live stream just talking about this. But if you go and talk to the guy and you're well prepared, you tell him, hey, look, this guy is talking about his company or whatever at your university. Hey, look, I'm interested. I really like this stuff. Is there any way I can reach out to you? What do you think he's here for? This is what he wants to hear. He's looking for people to recruit, right? Because he knows there's ambitious young people, some of whom want to probably work. They need people at their company, so that's what he's here looking for. You give him your CV, you pull it out of your nice folder, and you're dressed all nice, and you shake hands like a man, not like a bitch. You shake hands, you introduce yourself, you got good manners, you have a nice, interesting conversation with them, like, hey, so, how are you? Or, I don't know, how are you is probably a good way to talk, to start the conversation, but don't just be a student. Be somebody who's genuinely interested in what he has to offer, and ask him for a chance. Ask and thou shalt receive, as the good book says. Have a little conversation. Chances are he's going to take your CV and maybe gives you his contact. You send him an email later. Maybe you get a fucking job then and there. You can drop out of uni. You don't even need your fucking diploma. What do you think he gives a fuck about a diploma? No, he doesn't. CIA does this. CIA sends people to universities, or they send professors. So former CIA agents, they end up being professors for some bullshit at universities, and their job is teach this bullshit subject, but really they're here to look for people who they can recruit who are going to be CIA agents. You know what the CIA does? This is what I found out from the guy on, he was on Rogan the other day, and then he was on Judge Napolitano. He was in a torture program. They don't call it that, of course, but he did time in prison for refusing to participate in the torture program. You know what they do? You'd think the Middle Ages are over. You know what they do? It's not like what you heard, waterboarding. You know what the fuckers do? This is what he told me. They had a man. They were cooking him in oil. And when they were through cooking him in oil, they took his skin off. Probably for no reason other than to experiment what they can get a person to do through the right method. This is what the CIA does, guys. This is what your taxes go to if you're American. This is... NATO is involved in this shit. We're friends. These are our buddies. Just keep that in mind. I just wanted to put that out there for anybody who might not be aware of who we're siding with over here. A lot of people have nervous talking syndrome. Breath work, calm mind, be prepared. Work and portfolio talks more than tongue. Yeah. You know what it really is. First of all, talking is an art. Talking to people is an art. It's kind of like a skill. It's kind of like like doing a sport. The more you talk to, I notice this in myself. If I don't interact with people, let's say I've been in the house all week doing something on this fucking program, on this Blender thing or whatever the case may be, I didn't really interact with people a lot. I noticed that I'm not as smooth in interacting with people. I feel more nervous. I don't feel as comfortable chatting with people, talking with people, and whatever, being in public and talking to strangers. I just don't feel that comfortable because I haven't. It's like if you don't hit the gym for 2 weeks, you just don't feel as strong. You don't feel as smooth. You don't feel as good. So it's a muscle that you have to train. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to perform when the time comes, and you never know when the time is going to come. And then also, you're going to be very comfortable talking to people if you know that you got something to show. If you know that you're worthy. Confidence is not going to, you can't snap your fingers and bring it into existence. You earn it. And then you know that you got something to back up your mouthpiece, to back up your talk. And that's all it takes. That's the part that people like to skip. That's why people think, oh, either you're an introvert or you're an extrovert. That's the person who thinks that way is retarded. Because being an extrovert is an art. It's a skill. It's a title to be earned. Some people have it from a young age because of the environment that they grew up in. Some people had to work on it. But it's a title. It's like it's a higher class of civilization. If you're an introvert right now, you gotta get that shit under control. I'm telling you guys. It's easy to lose social skills in this career. That's right. That's right. If you are really good at what you do, the company might hire you on the condition that you manage to get a degree. Just for business formality. That's right. Physical training, cold showers, depussification. People notice nervous talkers, and I was one of them. It's fixable, but you gotta put in the work. Yeah. Man, you know what I miss about Denmark? You know where I lived in Denmark? I'll show you guys. Speaking of cold showers. Hold on, give me another one. Google Maps. You gotta log in to use Google Maps? Oh, no you don't. Fucker. So look. Now I was in Denmark. I used to live in this place right here, the north of Copenhagen. There's this... It used to be an industrial area, but now they're building a bunch of apartment buildings, and they made it real nice. This will be my metro station. I'd get off from this metro station right here, Aryan3D. And look at this place. So I'm not gonna tell you where my building was, but it was basically about 2 minutes walking from here, if even that. So look at this on a sunny day. So in the winter time, we would come out here. Give me a sunny day, man. It's nostalgia trip. We would come out here, and look, they built these places for swimming. You got the ladders and everything, and they even have the boat station, so you can go on this. This is where the public transport boat comes, and you can climb up on the roof of this thing and jump in. The water is like 11 meters deep. It's formerly a shipping area. It is a shipping area still. There's a container yard over there. It is some kind of international school, and we used to be swimming here in the winter time. So in the winter, this shit would be 1 degree in the water. And man, the way this impacts your life is incredible, because we would go in there, we were fucking stupid at first. We would do 15 minutes, just holding on to the ladder, shoulders submerged. 15 minutes in there, don't do that. That's a bad idea, but we were fine. And then every day we would just do like 3 minutes, I think was the time that we had to do. Winter time swimming was beautiful. And then one day, guys, I was just having this conversation with Thomas Cullen the other day. We call this place the ballpark. Look, hold on, let me get the thing. This place back here, now it's something different. Now they built this building. That's right, this is how it looked in the old days. Big parking lot. Now they turned it into some big architecture. Yeah, look, they put up this building, man. We used to crawl in here when it was a construction site. But before they built the building, you see it's a big parking lot. And then we would go back here. You can just walk there. Then now they put up something over here, but we could just go out there. And one winter, it was 12 degrees or minus 12 degrees or something like that. It was fucking crazy. It was the craziest shit I ever seen in my life. The sea froze rock solid. I didn't know it was possible for that to happen because it's salty. But it froze rock solid, so this whole thing was covered in ice, but there were icicles going sideways because of the wind, right, and the waves. So it was ice all over this entire, you could barely walk because it was slippery. It was so much fucking ice all over this entire thing. And then we went around, we went somewhere in the back of this peninsula in that winter. So around here somewhere, hold on, there was a company here where I used to work at. It was a delivery company. Yeah, now it's they've cleaned everything up, but we used to go back here. Man, they really removed everything. Really? They took it all down. So we go somewhere back here. See if I can show you a waterfront or something. We fucked it all up. And we would look at this entire area. There's people with sailboats and shit. We can't go in with Google Maps, but this whole area here, everything was frozen rock solid. Rock fucking solid, guys. I'm not kidding. And we would be standing around here somewhere. And you would see out here, way out here, how far is that? A fucking kilometer, practically, to my eyes. That's what it seemed to be. You would see people walking in groups on the ice, on the frozen sea. That's how frozen it was. You know, when a lake's frozen, you're not supposed to walk on it because you're gonna fall through, you're gonna fucking die. This shit was rock, so it was like a meter of ice. I don't know how deep it really was, but it was rock fucking solid, so much that you could go out a kilometer into the sea and walk in large groups. And we took this big rock that we found. It was like a big brick, a big piece of cobblestone or something. It's probably 30 kilos. It took two of us to carry 40 kilos. I don't know, it was about as heavy as two guys can carry. Big ass fucking rock, right? And we dropped that shit off the side, off the ledge, and the ledge was like what I showed you before. So let me take the guy and let me put him back here. The ledge was like this. So if we go in here, the ledge was kind of the same as this here, right? So it's a good 2 meters, a good 2 meter drop, and we dropped it down. Maybe that place was even a little higher. I remember it being a little higher, but anyway. We dropped it into the fucking, onto the ice. Not a crack, not a dent. It was rock fucking solid. And luckily there was a hole around the ladder. There's one of these ladders, right? So if you fall in, you can get out, but there's a hole in the ice around the ladder, so we go in and take a dip. You know, smoke a cigarette and everything. It was a great time. I have a picture of me somewhere bathing in that hole in this exact story that I'm telling you now. I got a picture of that somewhere. But my phone that I had back then died. I can't retrieve the information. Ice baths, they really make you feel more like a man. They pump the testosterone. Now I'm in Zagreb, I'm in Croatia. I don't know where I can go. You can do a cold shower, but it's not as cool. Give me an ice bath. They're fun to do. Yeah, those were the days. Alright guys, that's enough fucking rambling. I got some plans for tonight. No, I didn't grow up there. I did uni there, so I was there for a couple of years. I got some plans for tonight, guys, so I gotta leave you. I'm gonna wrap this episode up with a couple of sponsorship shout-outs. And you guys know I don't do no fucking companies paying me to say shit. I had AI companies reach out to me. Aryan, we want to sponsor you. Can you promote us for... Fuck you. I don't have time for that shit. Instead, Aryan promotes his own products because he knows for a fact that they're good. You don't have to... If I'm going to promote a company, I got to know that they're good. My shit, I know is good. Because I teach you guys to make cars on Patreon. So on Patreon, I got a bunch of episodes about car modeling right now. We got 15 episodes out at the moment. Now I'm going to upload a couple more. So what you see me working on over here, all that stuff minus, well, the side view mirrors, which I'm going to make in the next episode, which was what I showed you in this one more or less, but we're going to do that more at a slower pace so you guys can see every step. And then we got to fuse it together with this. But if you want to be able to make a car, if you want to follow my course as I'm working on it, then go check out my Patreon page. There's a link for that in the description. You can also ask me a question and things like that. Then we got our let me open it up, go to site. Yeah, we got our Blender Masterclass course, which is currently on discount, which is 109 little lessons all about 3D modeling. So basically every single tool that you guys ever see me use in Blender is going to be you're gonna find that in this course. All right, so the purpose of this course is to make you familiar with all the tools, and then once you understand all the tools and mechanisms in Blender, once you're familiar with how the 3D cursor works, the pivot point, the fucking modifiers, all the tools which you ever see me use in my videos, now it's easier to follow the videos because now you understand all the tools, right? So now when you watch an advanced tutorial, you don't have to stop it every 10 seconds, do the Googling, do the research, and realize that this is way beyond, you give up. But if you're familiar with the tools, you can follow. Me, I can follow a tutorial without even looking at it. I can just listen to it on 2x speed and I just know roughly what it's doing. I can follow. I can do it because I already know everything. I'm familiar with the tools that he's using, right? So that's the purpose of the Blender Masterclass course. And right now it's on a 25% discount because it's holidays, guys. It's fucking Christmas time. And then we also have our premium product animation course. Let me open that up too. The premium product animation course is about making premium product animations. So let me show you guys the animation that you will learn to make in this course. Hope you guys can hear this. Let me turn up the music. I need the music for this as well.
The sound of the birds taking off scared you last night. Though they were right to leave, right to use their wings to fly.
Yeah. Now let me bring me back. So that's the animation that we make in this course. And as you guys can imagine, if you populate your portfolio with animations at that level, that's the type of shit I was telling you about earlier. You're gonna have people reaching out to you because they see that you're good at this shit. It can serve as like your CV, except if you post it on Instagram, You don't have to go begging people to check out your CV. They come to you, they want to see your work, right? They find you because you're posting stuff out there. It just naturally lands on their lap through the algorithm, right? And if you can make animations like that, then you're going to be at a pretty high level. So that's what the premium product animation course is all about. It's got a couple of sections. I think it's got like 45 episodes, every single step: modeling the toothbrush, texturing the toothbrush, lighting, animating. So get yourself a copy of that while it's on discount. And also make sure to follow me on Instagram, guys, because that's where you can ask me some questions as well. That's where we can interact. I do some stories, Q&As from time to time, things like that. Aryan, I've been waiting for that gun modeling course. We're not going to do that gun modeling course. I had to cancel that course because of I had some other shit to do, so I canceled that one. But I think maybe we'll bring it back in the future. I refunded everybody who pre-ordered that course, so if you're somebody who pre-ordered that and you didn't get your money, then let me know and I'll double check. But yeah, you can send me a message on Instagram regarding that, or an email or something. So I'll let you know if we bring that, if we restart that anytime soon. Because the gun modeling course is, I think it's something that a lot of people would benefit from, because a lot of people do this because they want to make video games. And what better way to make video games than to make guns? If you go to a spa, go in the sauna, then ice bath. That's right. That's the best thing ever. Alright guys, that's all she wrote. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. It wasn't a long live stream, but I had a great time chatting with you. So I hope to see you guys in the next one. And hopefully it's going to be in a couple of days. Maybe the day after tomorrow or something like that. I'll let you guys know. You guys will see it on my... Maybe I should post Instagram stories when I do these. Anyway, that's it for tonight, and I'll see you guys around.